So really, it really isn't that complicated. It's just, it'll get you going, and it's really a matter of finding the content that you want at that point. Do you want funk loops? Do you want rock loops? Do you want hip-hop loops? And there are, there is a whole culture of sample library made specifically for this device.
Is that the window that you had up there previous, where you have all of the different, if you can you highlight that and then just have that keep replaying in a loop like you can with like Pro Tools? You can highlight a part of a track and it'll keep looping.
Yeah, this
does that do the same with that program?
I think most software actually has a loop feature, and in Reason, I'll show you here. You can see down at the bottom here, here's this loop on off. And there's two marking lines in the sequencer. You'll see it says left. This is your left locator, and this is your right locator. And those two points bound the section of what you want to loop. Record is their digital audio workstation. Well, it's their recording software, and Record and Reason work seamlessly together. So if you have a licensed copy of Reason on your system and you install Record, all you do is open Record, and then all of your Reason stuff appears in Record. Okay, I'll show you guys that in a minute here. Everything clear with this Dr. X loop player? Yeah? You can also go on the Propellerhead's website, and there's a community of us, me included, who actually do a lot of the stuff and just put it out on the internet for free. You can just go and visit the website, mainly the Propellerhead's website. They have a section of free refills that you can download. And then most people who manufacture or who produce commercial refills, they have a sample version, so you can go and get those for free and try them out. But then you start building up this massive library of sounds, and it becomes a task just to go through and audition everything and try to wrap your head around what you want to do. So then, for me, I'm not one of those types who likes to sit and listen to loops all day long just to find something that I want. I'm more the type to go and start building things up from the ground up rather than try and get something that's already produced. A lot of styles of music always rely on this particular style of loops, like these old funk, really nice, these old drums which have a nice character. And what they'll do is they'll pitch it up and then speed up the tempo. So you have to remember, like, these guys who were DJing and they were coming up with breakbeat styles in the old days. They weren't really working with the technology that we had now. They just speeded up the tape, or they speeded up the vinyl to get a higher tempo. So a lot of the styles which are, if the original loop was 100 beats per minute and the new style is 160 to 170 beats per minute, they're increasing, the tempo and pitch by about 40–50%. And so you can actually work with an older style, a much slower loop like this, which is originally 104 beats. But to give it that character of a certain style, you just raise the pitch. Okay, so yeah, that's one of the things you can do. You don't have to tie yourself to a specific library. You can start working with, breaking the mold, basically, trying to start with something that doesn't fit with the style, tweak it out, and then come up with something that does fit with the style. Okay? Let me go on. So do you guys use a redrum? Anyone? A little? Okay. So again, you know, when you're working in Reason, you basically start with creating the mixer and then start creating whatever device you want. In this case, I'm going to use a redrum drum computer. Now, this is an old style pattern-based drum machine. Not so much MPC, but more like the Roland 808, 909 boxes, where you would have each one of these sections, you see them numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to 10. Each one of these contains a different sound. And then over here is, on this bottom row of buttons, is where you program your pattern. Now, the first thing you have to do is load a patch. By default, there are no sounds loaded in when you first create a redrum drum machine. So I'm going to click on this Browse Patch button. And then, let's, anyone have a favorite style? Techno? Dub? House? Okay. So now I loaded the patch, and when I loaded the patch, each one of these slots just was loaded with the sound. So it's like working with an MPC that way, where you would load a session, and all of your pads are assigned to different sounds. So we can take a listen to the different sounds here. Kicks. Oops. Hi-hats. And what's this? Ride. Okay, and now the way pattern programming works is that you have to select one of these sounds. So let's take one of these, let's take this hi-hat, and I'm going to press run. I'm going to let the sequencer run as I program this. Let me zoom in. And you click on each one of these step buttons to program an event. So there's our basic pattern on 4s, on 8ths. Now you can start programming very subtle dynamics. There's a soft, medium, or hard, so we can do hard. So, and that's just the hi-hat. Now I want to go and add a different sound, like a kick. So I'll have to go down here to this slot 1 and select that kick, press that select button, and then so you see the buttons kind of went blank because there's no kicks program. Now I have to start programming kicks. And let's pick a snare sound. Then I'm going to go lay that on 5 and 13. We'll do a shuffle snare. And then I'm going to layer another snare on top of those, on top of the 5 and the 8. And then we'll layer another kick on 1 and 10. So you do this. Oops, sorry. Everyone follow along with that so far? It's pretty easy. Now that you have this in a pattern, you'll see that there's a little bank of pattern buttons here. So you can actually store 32 different patterns in 4 banks of 8. So I just programmed A1 there. In the old days, on those older machines, it was a lot harder to just take that pattern and copy it. But you know, with the computers, all you do is click on the pattern A1, you hit copy. You can go to the edit menu, copy, pattern. And then you can go to A2, let me run it, it's empty, and then I can just paste it. And then I can make changes on A2. So there's A1, A2. Then I'll paste another one in there, and let's do a little roll.